This is Bonjour Chai, the vaccines will bring the Messiah edition. I'm Avi Finegold in Montreal, and I'm here with Melissa Lantsman in Toronto and Ilana Zackon in Vancouver. We are your Frozen Chosen. Passover is on us. We're right in the middle of it. I am glad this year's Passover. How are you guys doing first?
I'm doing great. How are you?
It's been a good one, I think.
I'd have to agree.
An interesting one.
The fact that we don't have to go to people's homes for meals, right, takes care of my pet peeve on Passover, which is food that's supposed to be something, but is a pale facsimile of said item, right? Like pizza, lasagna, that cake that everybody, oh my God. Oh man. Like,
I love the lasagna. Matzah lasagna is the best.
No, I actually think that matzah pizza is one of the greatest gifts of Passover.
Yeah, and this is where I'm a nacer. You know, I was on a show for Queen's University Hillel the other day, and I was like, neither. Like, people go for a week without pizza.
But it's just so good.
And so why do you need to have the pizza on Passover? Like, you need to be throwing, like, to me, the cakes also. The, like, oh my God, you can't tell the difference between my cake and Passover cake. Between this Passover cake that I have and regular cake. I'm like, I can.
I don't buy
it at all. It's not good. And I get to control, like, if I didn't have to go to people's homes this year or last year, I didn't have to deal with any of that. I was like, I don't want a cake. You know what I can do for dessert? I can make a chocolate mousse. I can make something fruit-based. I don't need to make something that pretends to be something else, but is not good.
I'm with you on almost all of that, except that I cannot stand for on this podcast you going after matzah pizza. I'm just not there.
Decide with Melissa on that one.
I think matzah pizza might be the only thing that like slides in under the cracks for that one. You know, maybe because it's just melted cheese and nothing is, you know, made wrong by adding melted cheese on it. In the immortal words of Dan Pashman of the Sporkful podcast, right? That there's nothing that you can't think of that can't be made better by adding melted cheese or melted chocolate.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else does this, but I use Passover as a total excuse to eat like a 12-year-old. Like melted cheese. I just would never eat this in my regular life. I don't eat, grilled cheese in the middle of the day. It doesn't make me feel well. But on Passover, I'll eat like 5 a day.
What are your feelings on matzah brie? Do you make that, Avi?
So I don't. That actually came up also. And they were like, are you a sweet matzah brie person or a savory matzah brie person? I was like, I'm neither. Again, it's...
Do you like matzah?
What is going
That's
on in
my
your house?
question, because I'm getting this feeling you don't like matzah.
I don't know. You know what I like on my matzah? Olive tapenade. Right? Because it's like, I treat it like
Very
a cracker.
Classy.
Treat it like a cracker. And so bougie. Bougie. Yeah.
It's a fancy way to eat matzah.
The bougie rabbi and his denouncing of matzah pizza has no place.
You know what?
On this
I'm going to
podcast.
walk back the pizza one. Like I said, most other things I'm still standing by. Anyways.
What about chocolate matzah? Is that something
like
that
matzah
you
dipped
like
in chocolate?
Had?
Matzah
dipped in chocolate.
I can deal with the matzah dipped in chocolate. I'm down with that because it's a dessert.
But
It's
pizza's
just
offensive.
chocolate mainly. It's the matzah becomes a chocolate
Interesting.
delivery device. The pizza's not offensive. I just said pizza's neutral to offensive, right? It's much more on the neutral side. It's the lasagnas. It's the I'm going to try to make 17 things that I would never made otherwise, right? But, I can try to do this. I can fake it. Trust me, I can fake it. I just don't like fake foods.
You've heard it here first.
What else is on our radars? It's the beginning of April. It's Pesach. Melissa, it's a special day for you?
It is a special day for me. Other than, I'm sitting here in Ontario and we're about to go into another lockdown, but it's opening day in baseball. Not that I can go and watch, but secretly I've cleared my afternoon to watch the Toronto Blue Jays on TV. So this is exciting for me. Eight people, 8 Jews are being suited up.
Eight, not 10.
Not 10.
Wow.
Well, today 8 will be playing. I'm pretty sure of that. I've been told that it's 10, but 8 to 10, good number. It's a good number.
It's almost a minion.
It's almost a minion, and it is the topic of my baseball Slack chat, which is like my second job.
Amazing. You see, I can never really see myself as a Blue Jays fan. I'm always an Expos fan. My team is never going to win the World Series.
You know what? That's okay, as long as we don't have to talk about hockey.
But you know what? 1960 when? 60 what?
It's not, it's not in my lifetime. It may never be in my lifetime. So it's like I won't ever miss anything.
The Leafs winning the cup is like the NDP in leading the Parliament.
Yeah, no, also probably not going to happen in my lifetime. So that's it's all good news. It's all good news here.
Sports? No, you've never been a sports.
I am so out of sports. I used to like going to the hockey games with my grandfather when I was a kid, but other than that, I never watched sports on TV. That's my thing. Like your matzo pizza, I just have never found the appeal of watching people play with a ball on a screen. If it's live, at least it's like engaging and you cheer and, they play fun music and you have snacks. But to sit down in my living room and watch sports on TV, I just never understood why people find that fun at all. So enlighten me, Melissa. What is it for you?
Well, we're just for our listeners, we're just getting to know each other here, and I'm just flabbergasted by the anti-matzo pizza and the anti-sports watching.
Anti-sports watching, yeah. For myself personally, I mean, if other people want to do it, go ahead. But even for like the Super Bowl, when people get together, I'm like, I just don't get it. I'd rather watch something else.
I have these memories of going to opening game with family on Passover, and you'd bring the Passover, you'd bring your foil wrapped matzah, and you'd be noticing everybody else that's because it's Chol Hamoed, and that's your Passover trip for the day is you go and everybody's bringing out their Passover food to the baseball game. And it was it was early memories, but warm memories of matzah at the Olympic Stadium in Montreal was always a cool thing.
For anybody that knows me, I go to a ton of Blue Jays games, and there's a meeting spot where you can see Jews at the Sky Dome or the Rogers Center or whatever we're calling it today. But there's a kosher hot dog stand out on the third baseline, and every time you go there, it's amazing. You see people, you catch up. It's there's a whole other culture at Toronto games on going to get a kosher hot dog.
You know what? That just made me think of what you were saying before, Avi, about the matzah wrapped in foil. That's not an experience that I had this year. I guess I didn't have it last year either, but I didn't really think about it. But, I always used to have this issue where Passover would fall around the time that I would be putting on a play. So I would be in the green room eating my matzah in foil, and everyone would be asking me questions about what I was doing. And this year, we're not going anywhere, so we don't have to deal with that. I never thought about that. You can just eat your matzah right in your living room with tapenade if you're Avi.
I like my tapenade. Give me my tapenade.
No judgment against tapenade. It's great.
No, I got judgy about it.
Yeah. Okay. Before we get to our guest of the day, let's hear about our first sponsor.
Today's episode is brought to you by our sponsor, Atelier Lou Bijouterie in Westmount, Quebec. Atelier Lou specializes in custom design jewelry, as well as many lines including Anzi, Deacon and Francis, Dana Bronfman, and many, many more. If you're looking to upgrade that engagement ring or pop the question, come talk to Eric and design the ring of your dreams. Atelier Lou is offering a promo code for all Bonjour Chai listeners. Use BON18, BON18, at checkout for 10% off your order at atelierlou.com. That's ATELIERLOU.com.
Traditionally, at the end of Passover, Jews from across the Maghreb celebrated the Mimuna, a party that celebrates the return to eating chametz. Wikipedia lists some of the historical roots of it as possibly being the birth date of the father of Maimonides, the date when the Israelites collected all the jewelry that washed up on the shores of the Red Sea from the drowned Egyptians, or the day that we await the imminent arrival of the Messiah. But when was the last time you saw a Moroccan Jew trust Wikipedia? With us to talk about this holiday is Orel Gozlan. Orel is the Chazan of Congregation Or Shalom in Montreal. He is one of the funniest Sephardim on Instagram. Welcome, Orel. Moed Tov. How's it going?
Good. Thank you, Avi. Thank you, everyone, for having me. It's amazing to be here and to talk about a festival and a party that's so dear to for me.
So tell us a little bit about the history. Where does it come from? How do people celebrate it in the New World? Meaning, how did it evolve?
Well, basically, the history basically is we celebrate the Mimuna on the last day of Pesach, the exit of Pesach, and basically, where does it come from? We know that there's a big a big concept of the Geula, the holiday of the redemption for Pesach. We basically think that the Mashiach, the Redemptor, is going to come and deliver us all, we were freed from Egypt at the same time. And basically, what we hope is for the Mashiach to come on Pesach, and we wait one day after the other. Maybe it's going to come tomorrow. Maybe it's going to come the day after. And at the end of the holiday, we realize that it's not here yet. And basically, we celebrate. That's why we celebrate the Mimuna. Is like a celebration to like uplift the spirit of the Jewish nation. That okay, he didn't come this year. The Mashiach is not here. But we still wait for him, and we don't lose hope, and we see basically that it can come at any moment. So it's like an uplifting celebration that reminds us basically of the emuna, the faith that we have to have, and basically that's why it's called Mimuna. Also, it's a reason. It's one of the reason why we call it Mimuna. It comes from the word emuna in Hebrew, like don't lose your faith. Keep believing. Basically.
That's so interesting.
I love this idea. If you're accepting Ashkenazis into the celebration, I welcome an invitation in the mail. Tell me a little bit about what the night looks like, what the celebration looks like. I know that many of our listeners are curious about it. They haven't been. Like, walk us through what the party looks like.
Sure. Well, first of all, when you do a mimuna or when you hear about a mimuna, it's like a bris basically. You don't need an invitation. You know that like everybody, like a friend or a relative does mimuna. Like doors are open. You don't need a time. You don't need basically to reserve or say I'm coming.
But that's true of a Wednesday in Moroccan communities. You know, there's nobody needs invitations. You just show up for anything.
Exactly. You're right. That's in our culture. You know, like there's you just come whenever you want. But like even more at the Mimuna basically, and we have like special foods like moufleta, a lot of Moroccan pastries, delicious pastries with like honey and everything. We sing songs, we play festive music, we decorate the home, we dress in traditional Moroccan clothes like jalabas, kaftan for women. Like doors are open, like I said, and basically, I think the biggest like concern of the night is basically in the food that we eat. The table is like full of the delicacies and delicious stuff.
Do you have a favorite? What's your food that you always look forward to at Memuna?
Well, the star of the night is basically the moufleta. It's like a kind of like a crepe, fried crepe, something like that. You put butter and honey on it.
It's a crepe with more butter than actual flour in there. Like
exactly.
It's a butter delivery device.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically the moufleta is like it's basically like many delicacies and pastries that contain chametz. You know, we want to show our appreciation of the mitzvot by showing like we know exactly how the not eating chametz during the Pesach was important. So now we like open the festival of eating chametz with all those delicacies and delicious stuff.
It's like if you go for a month without drinking and then you go to the bar, you're like, 6 shots.
Exactly, it's like a chametz party. That's right. Chametz everywhere. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I remember? There was a very symbolic thing that you had to have the bowl of flour.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And what's stuffed in it? They're studded with.
Yeah. So basically, there's.
I remember my meme used to have that, and she would put inside what?
There's people that put beans inside and money also.
Money. This year I'm putting in. I'm putting in vaccines. I'm going to have a Pfizer. I'm going to have in the flour. I'm going to put an AstraZeneca.
Yeah, for sure. For 2021, it's a special Mimuna. We're gonna have to add that for sure. So we have like basically the gold jewelry or cones in a bowl of flowers. That symbolizes basically abundance, and the spring season with like the bean stalks, and basically like it's just a celebration to wish the other person good luck and that's why we say basically on this night we say tarbah. Tarbah in Arabic is should you win, should you succeed, and we say tarbah in plural form. We say tarbhu, should you succeed for everyone, for many people. Tarbhu وتساعدوا, and it's should you succeed and should you be happy, should you be full of happiness. So it's like a really beautiful Moroccan festival, basically.
I love that. I feel like compared to the bagels, lox, and cream cheese my family has, this seems a lot more symbolic of leaving, going into the Emunah. I feel like I've been ripped off.
It's also, I mean, so it's a big party, right? And from what I remember, from what I'm told historically, it was always in people's homes, and you would go from house to house to house, right?
Exactly.
You would have a whole circuit of Mimuna that you would go to this person and then that person and that person. You make sure to do it every year. But eventually it started becoming these big parties like that were communal, right? Where you got a big hall and you had the band and you had all of that. Is that, so you felt like there's something lost in that, you know, even before COVID? We'll talk about this year in a minute, but what do you think? Like in the new world, that's much more the concept of Mimuna has become that you go to one centralized Mimuna. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I think we always had like the two options, you know, because and that's the beauty of it, you know. People, yes, go from a house to another house, but what do we do for the people that don't have anyone to go to, you know? So that's, I think, like a priority that was done in Montreal, I know, at least. I think it's something that started like maybe in North America or in America and in the United States, the big community Mimuna, because I think in Morocco there wasn't that. It was really private, from home to home, like we said. And so basically, like I feel like it's ways and initiatives that we need to do, because there's some people that don't have basically where to go or don't have relatives. So to give them like this sense of like a party of emuna, of good food, I think it's something that's necessary.
These big communal parties were like, they were almost like the communist version of it's for the people, right? For the people, it's the socialist Mimuna.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? As opposed to the capitalist, the VIP Mimunas in the homes, where you can really be, and if you don't get invited anywhere, you feel a little bad and you go to the big parties, but it's not really for not the cool people.
Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly. And it was in the past years, I've like assisted to both, like in houses, Mimuna and big community Mimunas. It's always like a chance for the Jewish community to like establish like bridges and communications with other communities. You know, we always, I remember like for example the Mimuna that the CSUQ used to do, the Sephardic community of CSUQ used to do in Montreal. We always would have like a representative of the Moroccan consulate here. The others, representative of the Quebec government, the Canada government. So it's like, I think by opening it to like many more people, we were also able to like reach to other communities and do something all together. You know, an inclusive, basically kind of Mimuna for every part of the society that we are part of, basically.
Aurel, I'm gonna ask you, are we gonna see this on your Instagram? Can you tell us how to can you tell everybody who's listening how to catch a little taste of Mimuna in a year where I think that we need to be uplifted?
Yeah, sure. So basically, I'm gonna be able to I'm gonna post for sure. There's gonna be the explanation. I'm actually doing like a little quiz tomorrow that I'm preparing for social media to see basically on the meanings and the sources and the customs of the Mimuna. So basically, yeah, I'm gonna for sure. This year is gonna be different. So as much as we can show, as much as we can share with the world and make this Mimuna party a virtual one, for sure we're gonna do it.
Yeah, what's that gonna look like? People coming in and out of different breakout rooms?
Yeah. Well, basically, I know that on my personal Instagram, I'll post pictures of food and everything, like the songs, the different customs that we have and everything. And I know that the CSUQ this year organizes a Zoom Mimuna also with like a Moroccan band. Like live Moroccan music. There's going to be representatives of different communities and everything that's going to have a speech. So basically, even if COVID stops us from getting together, we still have this technology to do that together.
Have you guys been, Melissa, Ilana, have you guys been to Mimunas ever in the past?
I have never been. My cousins are half Moroccan, but I never got invited. They would come for the bagels and lox with us first, and then go to their Memuna, and then we would stay home.
I'm told you don't need an invitation. I've actually gone to one, and I'm taking Aurel's word as to crashing many more in my future. Can you crash a Mimuna?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You gotta just that there's no invitation. So then what's the etiquette? What are you not supposed to do at a Mimuna?
Good question.
I don't think there's like something that you're not supposed to do. I
mean, like you're not supposed to stand in the kitchen and take every mufleta that comes out.
Well, if you're able to not do that, that would be a good thing. Yeah, for sure. But it's hard to do that with the smell, and you see the 10 Moroccan women, and that's something that I used to love also. The private mimunas that we would have, we will always like see neighbors, like Muslim neighbors, come to the mimuna and everything, and like share the kitchen, the recipes that they used to do like in Morocco. So it's like basically it's something that like reunites everybody from every like different culture. So it's and I don't think there's something that you should not do. You're invited to do everything for sure. With COVID, it's harder now.
I'm curious about the music. Are there specific Mimuna songs or just general Moroccan music? Yeah, what are the songs I'm missing out on?
Well, basically, there's no like typical like Mimuna songs, but as soon as you put like Arabic songs or Moroccan music, you're in like the good
in the realm.
Yeah, in the good vibe.
So tell us. I mean, you're a Khazan. Well, we can get into to some of the songs that are your favorites, but I want to take a step back there. Some of the foods, an Ashkenazi person, right, who has never been to a Mimuna, right? I said to explain to Ilana and Melissa some of these foods. We're gonna try not to say Gesundheit or bless you when you say the name of the food, because you might think that it's a sneeze, but it's not. Tell us some of the classic foods and what they're made of, and I wanna hear a thumbs up, a thumbs down from Melissa and Ilana. Knowing their predilection for sweetness and desserts, I'm gonna hear a bunch of thumbs ups.
Oh, there we go.
But
I've probably tried a few of them from my aunt, but let's see if there's ones I haven't.
We'll start
seen.
with the mzaban.
That's a good one. Well, basically, I think it's based of I think it's almond. No. I remember tasting it.
It has almonds in it.
So Avi, you should explain, because you.
Oh, okay, fine. So I always like to explain that one. That one's basically marshmallow fluff with whole almonds stuffed in it.
Exactly.
Whoa. Yeah. I'm into it.
Oh, into it.
That's a winner.
Right, and if you're at a loss and you didn't actually make it from scratch, I'm sure there's like some nouveau Moroccan like person who's like, oh, I'm going to do my first, mimuna, and they just take a whole thing of marshmallow fluff, dump it in a bowl, put 2 almonds in it, and like, oh, that's it, I got it. What other foods would you see other than a mufleta we discussed? Are there any specific, like what's some of your favorites that you're going to go right for on the buffet of food post-COVID next year when you hit your
Well,
honeymoon
basically, I
house?
think we have the shbakia. It's like something. It's like a Moroccan pastry with like honey and I think it's nuts and everything. It's delicious.
I'm gonna get better than you. Sorry, it's a loofah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like a shower loofah, right? But then dipped in honey.
Whoa.
It looks like it, but it doesn't taste like a loofah. They don't.
No.
Into that too.
Yeah, we have that. We have also like burkoks. Burkoks is like a small circular pasta. Also, it's like called, I think, Israeli couscous for some people. And we basically put it with milk, with butter, with
I've had that before.
Yeah, it's delicious.
With honey and sugar.
Everything. You know, like the day after you call your dentist. You know, I have a lot of work to do on my teeth because so much honey, so much sugar. And we have like also there's this tradition of putting a jug of buttermilk, you know, petit lait, lben, so that we call that. And some people put it in their burkoks, in their pasta like that, the small circle pasta. And basically some drink it like that out of the jug or from a cup or anything. And it's called petit lait in French. It's just
buttermilk.
delicious.
Have you ever drank straight buttermilk? Right. Only if you've spent
No.
I think only if you've spent a week drinking pure like arak, right? Are you going to go and need buttermilk to like get it out of the taste out of your mouth?
I'm remembering now something that was, I can't remember the first word, but it was something au lait. Would that be the same thing? It was something else that was really sweet, and I think it was the same one, right?
I think so. Yeah. Well, il y a le petit lait. Petit lait, c'est vraiment like the buttermilk, and like les pâtes au lait or like les petits plans. Israeli couscous is like really the burkoks themselves. Yeah.
I think they called it something slightly different, but I think I've had that one, and I remember thinking it was really, really delicious.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like you I think we just save all the sugar and the honey of all year. we put it in the pastries.
As the son of a Moroccan, that is absolutely not true. You use that sugar and honey all the year also.
Yeah, you're right.
Come on.
You're right. But like it's like we overkill it at the Mimouna.
I'm not here to disparage bagel lux and cream cheese because it's a very big staple of my diet. But I feel like there's a world out there that I am missing. So I'm gonna go Mimouna hopping as my the thing that I'm going to do next year to break Passover.
On a more serious note, you must have remembered what it was like last year, Mimouna, right? Or the night of Mimouna when we were so into, like we had just started this idea of being at home. What was missed out within the community? Tell us some of the sentiment of the community, and now that we've had a year to prepare, right? How are we gonna, what's the looking forward to this year? But what was it like last year, knowing that you can't go to everybody's homes and you can't visit in the same way?
Well, honestly, it was depressing. I see it it was really hard for the community. We're used to basically, just like we said, hopping from a Mimouna to another one. It was really hard. Thank God we were able, there wasn't any curfew, so we were able. I remember in my case, at least we were able to get the moufleta from family members to at least taste it, in your own home with your own family. So this sense of party, it was really really hard not to have it last year, and it was missed because also you look forward to it because you're not able to sometimes pass over with all of your family members, and Mimouna is the occasion to meet everyone, see everyone. And last year even this was taken off for us. So it was really really hard last year, but we had the traditional moufleta for those who were able to get it from families. I know a lot of bakeries and caterers do it before Pesach. You can order it to have this taste and taste and continue the minhag and the custom of tasting it. And the classical, basically the classical call your whole family and wish them well, and the turbah. So even if the physical meeting wasn't there, there was like the spirit of the Mimuna, not as happy as before, but it was still there.
And what about this year?
This year, yeah, that this year is going to be, I think, maybe the same thing. Maybe not as depressing because we, maybe I'm like exaggerating a bit, but it's a party of emuna. It's a party of like faith, of like seeing the light after. Yeah, exactly. So basically, I think yes, we won't be able to like do big parties like before, a bit like last year. But I think just seeing the light at the end of the tunnel with the vaccination and everything brings us hope, brings us light, brings us like maybe not this year the Mimuna with everyone, but at least next year we should hope for it.
It's like everyone keeps saying, instead of next year in Jerusalem, next year in person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, next year Mimuna at your house, crushing one after the other.
Yeah. What I find it fascinating, first of all, as an aside, that it's so you're perfectly representing what people think of stereotypically of Moroccans. There's no Ashkenazim, like you're a little happy, then you're a little sad, you're a little happy, a little sad, but mainly you're flat in the middle, right? Mimuna, biggest party ever. No Mimuna, I'm depressed like you couldn't possibly imagine. It's the saddest thing in the world that I have no Mimuna this year. Next year it'll be a happy pep party again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. We try to we love the party. We love the good food. And it's just an opportunity to see everyone, to have a good moment, and we hope to be able to do that soon.
Excellent. Any last ideas? What about tell us a little bit about how, as an aside, where you how you developed this persona online of being, like I said, the funniest Sephardi guy on Instagram.
Well, basically, that's the thing. I started with this page, like it's like my name, or Goslan, and the thing is, a lot of Moroccan Jewish kids with the melting pot that we have and everything in Montreal and in Quebec. Sometimes they're not even like aware of their own like customs, their own traditions and everything. And what's a better tool than social media today to like sensibilize them on that, and like make them learn from where they come from and what do they do, and like the different customs, but not with like I teach you, that's it, like with jokes, with humor, with just like by the social media of fun and the songs and everything. And that's the goal. I feel like we have to reach to those young people, or to people that are living in like remote areas where there's no Moroccan or Sephardic around them, and basically try to make them remember from where they come from, and hopefully it'll help them also figure out where they'll go with their own path in life. And that's what I'm trying to do, because I think it's a priority. The thing that I told you and I shared today on the show, it's not like it's not stuff that a lot of young Moroccan today necessarily know. So that's the goal of the outreach, always in a like fun vibe, jokes, and sometimes it's just like with the way our parents talk, the recipes, the songs, and it's basically like I have kids that or people that tell me I've grew out of all of this, and just seeing your video reminds me my uncle, my aunt, my grandmother, my great grandmother, and you go and directly through your video they like connect with their roots, and you're like, wow, I'm just here like doing my funny guy, but I reach people, and it's crazy to see the power of social media. Basically.
Look, you have a powerful reach. All you have to do right now is put out a video that says, listen, if you'll do anything for the Mashiach, right, you'll have a Mimuna for the Messiah to come. Get vaccinated and the Messiah is going to come.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's for sure. And I posted like last time a picture of the vaccine and like me getting vaccinated. You know, the famous selfie. And it was nice. You know, it's
For
crazy
sure.
how much impact and how much influence you can have just by posting something or sharing something with the people. So that's why that's what we do.
I'm glad that you're using the platform for good things, for connectivity. That's the world we're in today, and it's good to see a following.
Yeah, yeah.
Aurel, it's been a pleasure talking. Hopefully we'll get you on for more Sephardic discussions and issues. We do this thing at the end of every show. We like to do the Nachat of the week, Nachas of the week. Nachat is Sephardic talk for Nachas, as we say in Ashkenazi. It's just something that we, that's come across our radar over the past week or something that we've enjoyed, that gives us pleasure as a Canadian Jew or as a Jew in general. Will you stick around and give us some Nachas of the week?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, excellent. So we'll start with Melissa. Melissa, what's been your Nachas of the week?
Well, so I don't know if you guys saw the story, but Saskatoon's Jewish community there was a scramble across Saskatchewan to get kosher food. And it had tons of people in Saskatoon. Believe it or not, there's Jews there. I know a few of them. I know that there's a few more. It's good to see, the rally of help getting, kosher food, Passover food into communities where there are none. Because sometimes when we sit here in Toronto, in Montreal, in Ottawa, in Vancouver, in some of our big communities, we take that for granted. So remember the hidden Yidden across the country, because there's a few people that came to the rescue to those in Saskatoon. So Nachas of the week.
Amazing. Ilana, what's your Nachas of the week?
So there's not a lot of news going on this week. Everyone's in Passover mode. So my anecdote is just personal. So this is where we're going to get into this tricky territory. We're going back to our discussion at the beginning about food. I'm gluten intolerant, and it's something that only crept up for me in the last 5 years. So I've been experimenting with how to do Passover that way. But something that I have been loving is how easy it is to actually get gluten-free food that's kosher for Passover, because the gluten is just not in a lot of things. So I made my first gluten-free matzah balls. I found gluten-free matzah meal at the grocery store, and I finally did it. The last few years, I've just been not eating the matzah balls, and so this was a really big nachas for me.
This reminds me, before I get to my nachas or Orel's nachas, this reminds me of a story, or you're going to love this. You all are going to love this. So there was one year we were in Passover. I was engaged to my now wife, and her grandmother decided that was the year that the whole family was going to go to Israel for Passover, for Pesach. She had always wanted to be in Israel for Passover with the whole family. And because I was engaged, I was part of the family. So I went to Israel for Passover. And of course, we're in Jerusalem for the whole Passover. But because and not everybody does this, and you should consult with your own rabbi for a decision of what to do. Because I was coming from the diaspora, from outside of Israel, I kept 2 days of Passover, both in the beginning and at the end, right? But virtually everybody else in Israel keeps 1 day of Passover. So we go on the last night of Passover, when the entire city of Jerusalem is celebrating Mimuna. We walk to my cousins from the hotel area all the way to another neighborhood to Givat Mordechai. It's a 45-minute walk. We walk there because it was still Passover for us, so that we can be part of the Mimuna, because that's how you do Mimuna in Jerusalem, is even if you're keeping. And so we're sitting there, everybody's eating all of these delicacies, all of these treats. This mufleta is stuffing their face. We can't have a thing, right? It's Passover. We can't eat it. Like, give me a glass of soda. And that was it. It was the worst feeling ever. Everybody's celebrating, everybody's enjoying, and we're sitting in the corner and we're happy, everything good. Yeah. You want a mufleta? No, it's Passover.
Yeah, my Passover is like the double Passover, because there's even things within the normal. But you know what? Now that it's become trendy to be gluten-free, it worked out in my favor, because there's so much gluten-free matzah available now at the grocery store. But yeah, it was hard times before, not having matzah balls. It's the highlight of the year. My family likes really, really hard matzah balls, none of that like soft, fluffy stuff. So I needed to make it right, and they came out pretty good.
Orel, what's your nachas of the week?
My nachat of the week, I think, is Premier Ministre François Legault last Friday or Thursday, I think, announced that 250 people were able to assist and be present in a synagogue. And before we were only able to be 10. Now, yes, from 10 to 250 is a big jump, but illogic.
It's like the Jews leaving Egypt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was, I think, influenced by
Where
that.
did they come from? What's going on?
But the feeling, for sure. But my synagogue, we decided to keep it not at this number. We keep it 50 per minyan per hall. So like we were still be careful. We're still careful with it. But doing like a full prayer with like more than 10 voices is a pleasure. Is a blessing. You know. We did like Hallels, the 2 days of Passover, just like the feeling of everybody like joining you like in unison and the one voice. I like it made me tear, and it was just like so beautiful. You know, when you compare 10 voices or people that sing from those 10 people to like more than that, and I think we were like maybe 30, 35. Big difference and big deep impact, and I'm sure our prayers were like directly accepted in the
amazing, beautiful
up. So it was just my nachat of doing.
My nachas has been charoset.
Oh yeah.
But not just not just any charoset. Not because of course, right? I'm not going to be the Mr. Tapenad, but not like Mr. like bizarre charoset. You know, there's actually a whole book that somebody just wrote a few years ago on charoset, Susan Weingarten. So I took a deep dive into it. But this is a charoset by Chef Laura Frankel. She calls it the Springtime Charoset. Laura Frankel is a chef that I cooked with in Chicago for a few years when I was living in Chicago. She is an amazing voice in the Jewish culinary world. And about 10 years ago, she developed this, what she called a Springtime Charoset. It was her twist on it, and I make it every year, and people love it. It's a completely different take on it. It's basically strawberries and blood oranges and pistachios, lemon zest, some honeys. I put some silan in there, and some mint, some torn up mint in there, and it's chopped up. It's more like think of it the consistency of Israeli salad, like chopped cucumber tomato salad, right? Think like that, but made primarily with strawberries, blood oranges, pistachios. It's totally different. I'll put a link to the recipe in the show notes for those of you who are curious about it. It makes for an excellent spread, not just at Passover, for the rest of the year. It's a nice little side condiment, which, by the way, if you go back to the Talmud, charoset was a condiment that people just had at the table all the time.
I would love
right?
that.
It's one of those things that, like the way that we have ketchup or mustard or whatever at the table, they would have charoset at the table, and charoset was part of the Seder. Often people think simply because it was there anyways.
Wow.
So that's my shout out was to Laura Frankel's Springtime Charoset, which I make every year. And if you're ever at my Seder, you will get some of that. Maybe we'll make some for a Mimuna when we all get together for Mimuna 2022
Definitely.
with Bonjour Chai. So that's that. Before we get to our Bubby Golda, because we can't do anything without Bubby Golda, let's hear about our other sponsor this week, Secure Assure. Secure Assure is the leading dealer in TELUS by ADT Security in Canada. They will protect your home or business from coast to coast with rates as low as $27 a month for a complete security system with camera. All installations are virtual. They send you an installation kit and they have technicians on the phone and online to guide you through the process at your convenience, regardless of your time zone. Use promo code CHAI to get a bonus offer at no extra charge. That is promo code CHAI when you contact them via their website at secureassure.ca. That's SECURASSURE.ca for the best in Canadian home security. Before we close out, let's take a moment to hear what Bubby Golda has to say.
There are lots of things going on in the news in all of Canada for all of the Jews. You might need some help to digest the press. Here's what Bubby Golda says. Bonjour Chai. My name is Bubby Golda, and today I'd like to talk to you about celebrating our Jewish identity in the face of anti-Semitism. This week, as I read the Canadian Jewish news, I was all bamboozled with reports and statistics on anti-Semitic acts, and I found it to be very tourist-invoking. Not only about the fact that there is so much Meshuggah behavior against our people, but in addition to that, I have found anti-Semitism to often be the main focus of what we Jews talk about. Don't get me wrong, I think it's necessary that we pay close attention to these accounts and that we diligently fight against them. That being said, sometimes it feels that that is what has become of our identity, and we need to do more work in acknowledging the endless, wonderful qualities that define us. We are currently celebrating the Passover holiday, and in that spirit, I would like to help free us from being bounded by anti-Semitism and bring us forth to the fruitful land of enjoying our many Jewish gifts. So, here we go! I'm a Jew, I'm a Jew, I'm a Jew, I'm a Jew, I'm a Jew. If I like going out to a restaurant and then complain about every little thing, I'm a Jew. If I love building community to be all together and then I gossip about everyone there, I'm a Jew. If I give and do a lot to be charitable and altruistic, and then I boast about how much I've done, I'm a Jew. If I build a homeland to live in peace, and then spend every day always fighting about it, I'm a Jew. If I make fun of ourselves as a people, and then get offended when others do it to me, I'm a Jew. If I value rules, my religion instructs me, and then I pick and choose which ones to follow and find all the loopholes and then judge other people for doing the same, I'm a Jew. Sing it with me at home. I'm a Jew. 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 Oh well, I always try to kibitz around and find the bright side in things. And while there is no funny business to anti-Semitism or any kind of hatred, perhaps we can put more effort into celebrating being Jewish, just for who we are, what we do, and not always what's being done to us. Like the Kinderlach on this show discuss their nachas of the week, I hope we can do that more often as a people. Let's smear on the schmaltz to lift our spirits and remind us about who we really are inside the Jewish neshama. And that's what Bubby Golda says.
And thank you for listening to Bonjour Chai for Thursday, April 1st. Our producer is Michael Fraiman, technical production by Andre Goulet. What Bubby Golda Says is a creation of Adina Katz. Our music is by Socalled. We are a project of the Jewish Living Lab, and we are distributed by the CJN Podcast Network. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Please leave a comment and a rating on the platform of your choice. Let us know what you think about our discussions on the CJN Lounge on Facebook. I'm Avi Finegold.
And I'm Moral Gosling.
I'm Melissa Lantsman.
And I'm Ilana Zackon.